we are back in the crypto market, and we can all understand the fact that the market itself is gaining more money. That is a good thing to watch. After a long period of time, we are watching something like this coming back into the market. Last time all this happened, that was earlier this year. We had opportunity to go through and do that. Right now, we are watching that the market is doing something similar. We're going through all those opportunities, getting those opportunities, seizing those opportunities. Why? They exist in the market. They are popping like this. When we watch things like this, showing us, yeah, that's popping through, then the question becomes like, how can you understand that before they start taking off? See, we had our targets, we're going through them, it's hitting through all our targets, it's great. But the time you take to understand those is really important. Whether you enter into a micro scenario, whether you enter into a macro scenario, where the market gives you each and every data point, pointing you towards one direction, you should not go against it. This is one of the biggest opportunities which I've seen in last 5-6 years. So if you are still here in the market, you should not be missing all this. We are going to go through this. We are going to detail all this so that you understand where we are heading, because on the other end, you know this does not look good. Yeah, it can be seen as a little bit funny, but that does not look good, because when we follow the money, we do understand the fact that some things are always like this. And while we understand that the market itself is in the right place, opt for the right decision. If you are here to make money, you need to understand you should be disciplined and you should have a ton of patience, because this is about to take off. Welcome to the Scientific Investor family, where the normal retail guys get to learn how to become the next top 10% of this world. While we go through all this, you need to understand this is a history of price action where we were doing this, the weekly run up, and that weekly run up itself is seriously interesting. See, you go on to them. You want to see, okay, when do we actually get these weekly? You want to see the perfect date where we start off this, say this one. Great, that's on the 16th. Great, you take another one, you drop it there, that's 23rd. Now you go on to a daily and see where did we get those. I'm like, okay, that does look attractive to me. Meaning both these times, the first candle of the week went up. So I'm like, okay, here we are. We are about to start the new week, or in fact, we are in the new week in the price action terms. And this may literally give us something similar. If we are following the recent past, we may get something really interesting in next 24 hours. Now, give or take maybe 48 hours. We've seen something like this here too. So that means the price action is showing you something is coming. Yes, it is hard to say what's going to happen just by looking at the short-term scenario. You will have to go back on the macro. You will have to go back into the history to understand how things have evolved in the past. This is 2013, when the MACD was crossing to the upside on the positive territory, and the volume started coming in the positive territory. RSI was entering the overbought territory. That's important. RSI is entering the overbought territory. That gives you the understanding buyers are doubling down. At the same time, you're watching that the price action is taking off. It's not like, yeah, the strength is increasing, but sellers are pushing you down. No. Sellers are being kicked out. They're getting liquidated. That's a bullish stuff. In 2023, when we are riding that wave, we are looking back and we are finding these like, okay, 2013, when this happened, whoa, that was a good time. Next 3 to 6 months was like absolutely monumental for anyone who understood this. Great. Now we are again comparing the 2023 to 2013 end. The next move up again repeated something similar. You got the MACD crossing to the upside on the positive territory. You got the RSI entering the overbought territory. The price breaking one range. Woo! You went up. Next 3 months was really interesting. You go on to 2016, you're comparing that. That's where the cycle shows you, okay, each time you go higher, do a 100% move, you kind of slow down a little bit. Not too much, a little bit. So if you put that into perspective, it's like, okay, Bitcoin may go up to 48 to 52,000, and then eventually slow down to somewhat like 37 to 40. That's okay, that's not bad. Maybe 35, it's okay. And then you go back up there from that 35 towards 70, 75, that kind of range. And then again, correct back down. So that's going to take more time if you are going to do like that. But it is healthy. Now, you compare it with the next season here, which is 2020. You start doing the exact same thing in the MACD, in the RSI, and the price action, breaking through this on a weekly. What follows is interesting. You'll have a couple of candles which kind of confuses the market. I mean, it's like that. The whales, the financial institutions, the sharks in the market, they really don't want us to make money. That's something which the world is controlled by. So if you go back and look at what I said here, I think it's really true. I believe it's true. Maybe I'm wrong, but these guys investing in something showed their direction. And if you recently go look at the politicians and these big guys investing in Lockheed Martin and others, you're like, okay, that shows us some direction. So these are something which we have to keep in mind to understand where we are going. We don't want to miss out. Because if that's the scenario, then next 3 to 6 months, it is going to be something historical. Because if you actually take a look at this and say, okay, micro moves, I understand this. I'm following the price action. I'm taking the benefits of what the market is offering me. Now, if you want to actually do that, you can come here on the Patreon. SI Family is taking all these benefits, riding through that, around 520 members. I already here taking all these opportunities, knowing where the breakout comes, knowing where your targets are. And if I'm taking a trade, you guys know when I'm taking it, when I'm skimming the profits, when I'm taking the position completely out. So you have an edge in the market. Now, when you look at XRP, this is another thing which is seriously bullish for me. Now, why is that? If I'm looking at this, I understand that the trend is to the upside. The RSI give me that. And I'm looking at the price action to understand, okay, the micro moves are acting like this. Can we actually come back and retest this range again? I would be really happy to see another double bottom formation happening here, and then the price takes off. That is going to be a great scenario. Now, that is a daily chart, agreed. So when you actually move it on to a 3-day chart, it shows a continuation price action here. So if you're a price action guy, you're watching this and saying like, okay, that is interesting. If you get a 1 candle continuation pattern, that can push the price up. That is something historically we have seen. But we want to follow the volume. Is the volume supporting that? Is the RSI in the right direction? Is it actually supportive? I mean, on a 3-day chart, that does look really attractive. When you go on a weekly chart, it's still on to the upside. The MACD is still in the positive territory. This is exactly what we've looked at in terms of Bitcoin. But then when you come to XRP, now you are watching something similar happening here. I'm like, okay, that's a lot to digest. Because on a weekly, you just closed above the moving average, 21, not the exponential, the normal. You are watching that the price closed above it on a weekly. That's significant in my opinion. Because usually when you do that, what follows is interesting. Next couple of candles here, I mean, there is no doubt it kind of aligns with what the Bitcoin market is showing you. If that is to push the entire crypto market to the upside, there is going to be a ton of opportunities. You are literally watching in front of you. In the top hundreds, now you have 50, 40, 50, 50, somewhere close to 50. And a lot of assets are doing that. It's not 1 or 2 assets doing something like this. It's a lot of assets running up 100%, 50%, 75%. We had our calls on all of this and they are running towards our target. And I'm like, whoa, there is a lot of liquidity coming into the market. Otherwise, you don't usually get to see all these coins bursting together whenever they are breaking out. That rarely happens unless it's in a macro bull market. And I think this is that macro bull market which we've been talking about for some time. We had our level of patience and discipline riding into this, while people were still giving you the idea we are going down at this range, or at this range, or even at this range. We were pretty sure that that was not the scenario. And right here, we are watching how history is evolving in front of us. Because when you take this, Bitcoin shows you, yeah, I'm breaking higher, but with the Bitcoin dominance riding higher, we are also watching on the other end the total market cap. Like Bitcoin dominance is riding higher. And that kind of pushes the total market cap here at that resistance. Now we are trying to slowly break above it, confirm that, and then ride higher. This is what I'm talking about. This range of previous wick high, if we manage to close that and a break here, that is going to be exceptional. Why is that so? You're watching the MACD here on the positive territory, crossing back to the upside. If you go back in history and look at last time when we did that, what did the price action do? It started a rally. I mean, it would be really interesting to see the exact same thing or something similar playing out. But the actual question is, okay, this is the total crypto market, and we have tens of thousands of assets here. Not all of them are doing good. Some of them are doing bad too. You need to understand which of them are trending higher, which of them are giving you a huge opportunity. And that's why we go through as much assets as possible and give you guys the right perspective at the right time, because I believe these kind of opportunity calls are necessary. Because in a month or two, you're actually going through all your targets, hitting them. I mean, that's how you take advantage of the market when the market is showing you all these possibilities. So if you are there, you get this at the right time. Now, when I enter, I exit, I share it as soon as possible. Sometimes as soon as I drop the order to buy or sell, I inform you guys. Same. We go through a lot of one-on-one session, and yeah, it's getting pretty hard up here, meaning in terms of the one-on-one session, people are taking a lot of sessions. They are actually taking all these opportunities, and I'm happy to watch a lot of people going in and out, making the right decisions. As I'm really happy because once this market run up was over, maybe 3 months, maybe 6 months, it's done. We waited so long for this. And once you have already gone through the last 2.5 years of tough time period, now if you've built yourself emotionally for this run up, you don't want to make a mistake here. Now, there will be small errors. It's fine. But as long as you take somewhat close to the top, it's still fine. There is nothing wrong. No one can get the absolute top on all these assets on which you are investing or trading. You want to make sure you be with the whales. If the whales are going in, you can see the strength, you follow that. If they are not, and they're exiting a market for an asset, you should also do that. This is wave 2, and a lot of assets are going to slow down and slow down massively. And that kind of a drop in the market can hurt a lot of people. So you want to understand, yes, technically, these are the relevant areas to watch for a lot of different assets. Keep an eye on that. Here it kind of clearly shows for XRP, we have done this. And after that, we are making a double bottom. After that, you're breaking higher, giving you a confirmation for that double bottom. Now, all of this is literally bullish. So now the question becomes like, okay, what are we really watching? Right? We want to see how price action is evolving. See, whether it's on a 3-day, whether it's on a daily, you go look at the momentum. It matters a lot. Right now, the RSI is moving to the upside. The price action is still bullish. Whether you come in on a daily, whether you are on a 3-day, I'm watching this and I'm personally saying okay, historically speaking, when you break through the moving average first time, consolidate, and then start the next run up, usually that's a good sign. Because if it's a fake out, what usually happens is just one candle ends up as a fake out and then you go back down. But here, this is the second candle. So if we get this candle closing in green in next 24 hours, that means a lot, meaning the price is not even coming back down to test the moving average. Rather, it's going to the resistance. So we want to see if we manage to break that resistance. This time around, we're just starting it off from a support, which means we have more room to the upside compared to that one. You can literally look at this and put the argument, whoa, that looks good. If we move up there, that's a decent short-term ride too. But on a macro, that looks pretty great because you just broke through a critical level. You are retesting that, and when you bounce off, this becomes like a huge FOMO area. As soon as you break through this range, market is going to jump onto this asset. It won't be an easy ride from there because it's going to be really choppy. Now, it was choppy till this point, but it's going to be even manipulated. You'll see a lot of volume coming in and all these whales and sharks trying to manipulate you, me, and all the other retailers. That's where you need to understand. If the market is giving you a double bottom, you are waiting literally for a confirmation where the market shows you, no, get out. There you get out. I don't know where it's going to come, but as soon as I see something and I'm going to close my positions, I'm going to inform you in the group. That's why I say stay updated, stay relevant. This link, if you're watching this video in YouTube, it is in the description below. So if you are in Twitter, it's in the bio. So you actually can get it easily. There is no confusion. We're all human beings. We'll make mistakes. But that's why I'm saying, if someone has already done mistakes and learned from it and doing much better now, then that means that's going to be the underdog this time. They are going to take advantage of all those information and wisdom which they gained from the last cycles and apply it on this one. You will see in next 3 to 6 months how the SR family ends up at the top, taking profits when a lot of people would say that's a stupid decision. The price can go to $1,000 in XRP. Don't do that at a $10, $20, $30, wherever we end up on this wave cycle. So guys, if you received value, please do smash that like button. Sound is a little bit off, throat is a little bit aching, but still, I'm here as long as I can. I'll meet you guys on the next video. Bye for now.